working on a couple of things, I believe.
Well, just that sort of night out in Manchester, I suppose, is what I'll run you through, because everything was good. We had a great time, me and Emma, in Manchester, celebrating our anniversary and getting a bit pissed up and that. We stayed at inside. Anyone who's been on the train recently on the Piccadilly line, coming north out of Piccadilly or going into Piccadilly from the north, will have seen this big red building with a little bit of a cantilever overhang on it. It's next to the new complex that the building just sort of opposite where the Manchester Central is, on the other side of the tracks.
Right.
To that, and it was nice. Well appointed and all of that. So that was good. Decent breakfast this morning there as well. That saw me through most of the day. And from there, we went to Junkyard Golf.
Right.
I believe they have a couple of other locations as well. So the one in Manchester City Centre is near Piccadilly train station. Now, I would qualify this review of Junkyard Golf by saying it was fun. It is slightly overpriced. I think it cost us £7 or £8 to do our round of 9 crazy golf holes inside a building.
Right.
But it's probably better in a larger group because you can drink whilst you're doing it and stuff.
Oh,
so
I see.
we had a few beers before, we drank whilst we were going around the course. Some of the holes were frustrating. Emma beat me.
Good for Emma.
I'm sure she'll be happy for me to point out.
Overall, or just on one of the holes?
No, overall.
Oh, fantastic.
I'd actually beat her probably on more holes than she beat me, but I was really bad on a couple of holes.
Oh, you playing stroke play then, not match play?
Yeah, stroke play,
right,
yeah.
Okay.
So it was good fun though. If it was a fiver, I'd say it would be better value for money. But if it's a one-off, it's something to check out. Certainly, like on the dating scene, it'd be a good first date kind of a place to go out, I would suggest, or an early date place to go. That'd be fun. Then we went to have some. Well, we went via the Night and Day Cafe, which I've not been in for absolutely yonks. I worked out the last time I was there was I saw Editors play there in like 2006 or 2007 or something.
Right.
So like 10 years ago nearly was the last time I was there, and it seemed a lot. I've not been in for a drink since before that time as well. But that was nice to visit an old, sort of revive some old memories of my younger days going and watching gigs a lot.
Yeah.
We went and ate at a place called the Yard and Coop.
Okay.
Which is a chicken place. I don't know if it's just in Manchester. They have it in the Northern Quarter, but it was really good. They basically they make their own sort of flavoured coating that they put on the chicken. You get chicken in various types, drumsticks or thighs, I think, or breasts or whatever. Or there's a vegetarian option which is halloumi, but in the same coating.
Oh wow! Fucking love halloumi, me.
We had some of the halloumi bits in like chicken nuggets forms, like as a side. Really nice. And you had
me at halloumi.
You get a sauce to put with your chicken and your chips and stuff, and it was really nice and actually pretty well reasonably priced. It was like £9 for your whole dish.
Yeah.
The sides were a little bit more expensive when you start adding those on, but they all looked amazing. We only had the halloumi nugget things, but really good. I would strongly recommend the Yard and Coop. It was a really good experience.
I've got a right hankering now. It's like 10:30 at night, and all I can think about is halloumi.
Yeah, we then headed towards Spinning Fields from the Northern Quarter. We stopped off at a couple of places on the way. We stopped off in a bar called, I think, the Blue Pig or something.
Okay.
It was okay. But we ended up in a bar called the Gas Lamp. Now, it's like a Victorian cellar. Okay. Glazed tiles, loads of big gin selection. I'm guessing like 3 or 4 years ago it would have been a big whiskey selection, but now the gin movement's all in full flow. But a lot of beer choice as well, which is what I was there for primarily. And it was a bit more expensive than you'd want, so I wouldn't recommend a night out there with the lads sort of thing. But going for one in somewhere a little bit interesting, that's not knobheady interesting. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Like it's not really trying to be interesting as much as it just is.
It just happens to be.
Yeah, and it's been around for like 6 or 7 years. So, and it's in a space that looks like they've not done a great deal to it.
Right. As you started describing this, I thought this was going to get extra hipster, but then you've not got infuriated with it, so I presume there's not like deconstructed G&Ts and stuff getting brought out on like wooden platters and things.
No, it's not totally hipster, that's what I'm trying to say. I think it sort of predates hipster, and it's not really changed much in that time. But the drinks were fairly expensive. Like I say, it's good for going out like somewhere different to go with your missus or whatever. I would recommend it. So it's on the sort of edge of Spinningfields. You know the Oast House where we went to, where people might be a bit more familiar with. Well, that's off a back alley, isn't it? The other side of that, there's buildings between that and the main road. It's on that main road, just the other side of that back alley.
Okay.
Cool. I think there might be a back exit as well, actually, come to think of it.
Hey. Superb.
But yeah, it was good. I liked it in there. It was just you wouldn't be able to have a session there with the lads. You'd go to Sinclair's.
What's Sinclair?
The Oyster Bar.
Oh right, okay.
You know where the beers are Sam Smith beer, so it's like $2.20 a pint.
Oh yeah, that's
in this
better,
day and
isn't
age.
it? Yeah, in this day and age, that's great value.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anything else from your night out in Manchester?
No, that was that was the story of the night, really.
Superb. Anything else generally to recommend?
No, not this week.
Cool. Well, I have 3 recommendations. Well, 2 recommendations and 1 encouragement.
Okay.
I would say, because I can't necessarily recommend it yet because it hasn't happened, this first thing or this last thing. I did talk a couple of weeks ago about a book I was reading, and I wanted to fend off recommending it in case it turned out to be garbage at the end, but it didn't, and it didn't disappoint. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
Coming out in the cinema in a few days' time as well, which is perfect timing. But I've just finished reading it too, and it was brilliant. Really good book. I won't give away too much, but it is about a girl on a train to start with, and she starts viewing the lives of other people, and then it develops into this psychological thriller. And the book is actually written from the point of view of 3 different women whose lives intersect. It's set in London, although I believe the movie is quite typically set in New York. But it was terrific, and if you get the chance to read it before you go see the movie, I would.
Okay.
I can heartily recommend it. That's The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. The second thing is I love recommending things on Netflix and TV. This week it's some stand-up comedy by a lady called Eliza Schlesinger. She's an American. I've been a big fan of hers for a little while, and I've watched a couple of her other specials on Netflix which you can grab, but her most recent one is called Confirmed Kills, and she's particularly funny for an American, so give that a run out. She's well worth a bit of your time. And my final recommendation or encouragement is the Ryder Cup. Big sporting weekend
when golf becomes
coming up this weekend, Mark, with £1 million games and Super League semi-finals and NRL Grand Finals, and in and around that will be the Ryder Cup for me this weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Europe taking on the United States over at Hazeltine in, I think it's on the outskirts of Minneapolis in the US. So
even with inappropriate Eddie Hemmings comments like, we'll all be Europe for this one, or whatever he said during some of the coverage last week. What a dick.
Exactly.
But,
Brexit notwithstanding, the Ryder Cup is still an exceptional sporting.
But I love the Ryder Cup. It is for me when I've always described it as when golf becomes sport. It crosses that from individual to team, and I'll be watching. I'll be tuning in. That's for sure.
Well, my old boy's a big golfer, and he often tries, as frequently over my life, tried to get me into golf, and through a lack of hand-eye coordination and also a lack of passion for the sport, I never really have done. But going and watching the Ryder Cup with my old man is something I look forward to every couple of years. So I'll be ensconcing myself on the sofa and having a couple of beers with Mr. Crooks Senior and enjoying the Ryder Cup. And I would encourage you all to do so should you have the opportunity, particularly on Sunday when it gets really exciting when the singles happens. Next week's show, Mark, what have we got for the lovely people for the 120th time?
Well, hopefully we'll have a drip feed of what's going on in the Super League Awards, the Man of Steel night, the Steve Prescott Man of Steel Awards night. So we'll hopefully keep up to speed with that, so we're not too far behind by the time the show comes out for you guys. But probably it'll be full steam ahead on the sloppies by then, and getting the game reviews in, getting the fan match reviews in, as well as any game reviews from the big games at the weekend that I'm sure everyone will be focusing on will be great as well. As many as possible is always appreciated. But yeah, it's starting to push now with the sloppies and the fan reviews. I'll probably get the sloppies up. I've got a few days off work this week, catching up on some using holiday days because I've got to. And I will probably get the sloppies up, the voting forms up as Google forms.
Mm-hmm.
There will be one for the Sloppies main with all the normal categories on there, and then there will be the new edition of the SLP Dream Team that people can vote for.
Yes.
So look out for those and send us your listener reviews into superleaguepod@gmail.com. Do them however you want them, as long as they're a recording of someone talking about some team's season. We will enjoy them all.
Absolutely, from all levels of rugby league.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, and you don't already do so, we are at Super League Pod. You can join the fun with us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/Super League Pod. And if, like a couple of you want to get in touch with us via email and let us know a bit more about yourselves, then superleaguepod@gmail.com is the address you need to send your little introductions to, and we are always excited to hear from people, and that's been the highlight of my show this week, getting new listeners or newer people telling us how they came to rugby league and how they came across the podcast.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Look out across all those sorts of platform kind of things for the links. I might even crowbar together a blog post just so that there's an anchored home for those links for people, but probably just throw out tweets and
that's it.
Tweets and Facebook messages, get some scheduled posts going there.
That's it. It's getting to be an exciting time of year. So, with any luck,
it really has kicked up the excitement factor, hasn't it?
I know we don't sound it at the minute. It's getting to be a really exciting time of year. It's quarter to 11 at night, but it is getting to be a really exciting time of year, and we're delighted that you're choosing to join us to experience some of it. So, we will see you next time on your favourite rugby league podcast, the Super League Pod.